Thanks for joining us on another episode of The Grind. Here's your host, JB.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Grind. I'm your co-host, Terrell Williams. We've got Saba Costas with us as well, and we've got JohnMark with us too. Before we get started, just want to say thank you to our Rock fan, our Patreon subscribers. And again, we do this. There's a reason why we do this, and we just want to say thank you for that. You can find us on Facebook, hopefully, Twitter, Rockfin, and YouTube. So as we get into it, JohnMark, how's it going? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hope you guys are tonight.
Good. All right. So it's been a week. I'm sure you've been extremely busy. You got a lot to process. You're getting ready for competition. But before we get into what went ahead, do want to do like a quick recap, and I'll let Saba lead in terms of NC State, some takeaways from what you saw at NC State.
Yeah,
Sure.
Hey, Coach. I was able to make it down there. Great venue, great turnout. Seemed to be a lot of black and gold fans in the Raleigh area for that match, and that was good to see. What are some of the takeaways from that match? So the positives, some of the guys that won that you were really happy with their performance.
Well, I think first of all, there's a lot of positives just from the way that, I would say we competed at, probably more than half the weights. I mean, obviously we won 4 of the 10 weights, but, even at 74 and heavyweight, were matches that we didn't necessarily win, but I thought we competed, pretty well and gave ourselves opportunities to win. Ultimately the biggest takeaways is, I think we've got a good team that can wrestle with anybody in the country. But, if we're going to get over the hump and beat a team like NC State, we have to minimize bonus points, and we've got to find a way to, win those close, hard-fought matches. And, when we have opportunities to get bonus points, we got to be able to capitalize. And so those are my biggest takeaways. I was proud of my guys for the effort they gave. I think our conditioning is in a really good spot for this time of the season. So there was things that we definitely could build upon and take as positives, but there are no moral victories in wrestling. We didn't win the duel, and that was our goal. So we got to go back to the drawing board. We've really been focused heavily this week on some of the minor details that it seemed like we were lacking at NC State. And the biggest thing is just score more points. We just did not score enough offensively on Friday night, and that's what we needed to do to give ourselves a chance to win.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. It looked like everyone had a good weight cut. I think the inner squad, getting everyone down to weight helped prepare them for that. And they really looked good from the start, with a short turnaround from weigh-in to match time. It was good to see them able to compete at that high of a level and look good.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then
just to
let's
jump.
jump.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Terrell.
I was going to make a quick comment. I was going to say I was really impressed. I was able to watch at a later time, but I was really impressed with just the always forward mentality. They were really gritty, and no one was ever backing down. So I really liked that. All the guys came ready to wrestle. So that was awesome as well. Sorry, I just want to put that part in. Go ahead, Saba.
No, you're good. I agree with you, Terrell. And it's always great to take the fight to the dog. And unfortunately, we didn't come out on top. But we got to look forward. Do you want to talk a little bit about Southeast Open before we move forward to this weekend?
Yeah, sure. So, it was a quick turnaround. I jumped in a van from Raleigh at about 10:30 on Friday night and drove 10 guys up to the Southeast Open in Roanoke, Virginia, where we met about another 13 guys that were already up there with Coach Patterson that competed in the Southeast Open. We got in at about probably like 1:30 in the morning. Those guys were up early on Saturday morning, weighed in, and we had about 23 guys wrestling at the Southeast Open in Roanoke. And I think we came away with about 9 placers. And, I saw a lot of improvement from a lot of our sophomores. I will say that our sophomore class that wrestled in the Southeast Open, those guys showed a tremendous amount of improvement from the last time that we saw them compete. And, those guys like Tommy Askey, I think he ended up finishing, I don't remember if he finished fourth or fifth, something like that, but he had a good tournament. OJ Boast wrestled well, ended up placing at the tournament. Dalton Battle, big improvement from Joe Zavostowski. And then Tristan Norris came away with the tournament title, which was a big deal, at the freshman sophomore division. So, that sophomore class, I was really proud of those guys and kind of the improvement that they showed. And then for our freshmen, this was really the first time we got a chance to watch them compete. And so we learned a lot about that group and learned a lot of the weaknesses they have that maybe were not apparent to us until last weekend. So, all around, I thought it was a great effort. We did see some great performances. Carson Floyd, true freshman, ended up making the finals of freshman sophomore division and had a really good tournament. So, great. It was good to see all of our guys compete. And, a lot of times competition kind of brings out a little bit of reality of kind of where you're really at, where what are the things you're doing well and what are the things that you need to improve on. And I definitely think the Southeast Open was good for our whole team in that aspect.
Yeah, because this is the first real test for some of those freshmen. First collegiate match, every match is going to be against a state champ more likely than not. A lot of high-level wrestling. It's good to see them in there and battling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, so I got a question about the Southeast Open. You said that you hopped in the van, drove the kids up. Did you drive or did
I
someone else
did.
drive?
No, I
You
drove.
drove.
I
Oh
drove.
my
Yeah. So
goodness.
Coach Diabe and Coach Miller were actually on the bus, and they drove back to Boone from Raleigh with a lot of the guys that wrestled in the NC State duel. And I drove a van with my trainer, Bill Dixon, as the co-pilot, and he kind of stayed awake and kept me because I'll be honest with you, I was pretty tired by the time we got into Roanoke and got in. I think I got about 2 hours of sleep and got a couple guys up to make weight the next morning, and so it was a long drive, man. It's like you coach
Yeah,
wrestling. It don't matter how long you've been coaching wrestling, you still
yeah.
have to grind. So there's
I,
never
I
a let up. So.
Yeah, I remember being in some of those vans and you coaches having to drive and loading up on sugar and sunflower seeds and making those treks.
Yeah,
and
yeah, and all the
80s rock
wrestlers are
music.
asleep in the back. Yeah,
Yeah, well, at least you didn't have a flat tire like the one time going up some tournament. Akron, I think
yeah,
we
we've
went one time.
had some crazy moments, a lot of memories over the years. A lot of those van rides though, are you know guys like you and Terrell. Those are stories that you remember for a lifetime. Those are friendships you make and memories that you make for a lifetime. So, I think in some ways those van rides and those hard trips are where a lot of bonding and relationships really are built. So.
I
That's
agree with
awesome.
you.
So going towards this weekend, I wanted to kind of slow down just a touch and just talk about like what's the focus for the week. So I don't want to talk about anything like we're going to do this and we're going to do that, but as you kind of prepare for this weekend, when you're working with the guys or the other coaches are working with the guys in the room, what's really been the focus of what you want your men to take away from as they go towards Mountaineer Invitational this weekend?
Well, I mean, we focused a lot this week in the practice room on just scoring more points. If you look at our stats from Friday night at NC State, we just didn't score enough points. You have to score more points than we scored if you're going to win against a top 10 program. And so we just didn't score enough points. So we talked a lot this week about getting to our offense, getting to it earlier, and wrestling hard in all three positions. And those are one of the things that we really didn't quite get accomplished on Friday night. And it's been a very important focus this week. And then we've just kind of talked about some fundamentals, some fundamental areas that we've got to do a better job of. Just our position on our feet, head and hands defense, and riding tough on top, and hustling out on bottom. And so it's the things that you talk about every day in practice, but you don't know their problems until you get competition and it gets exposed. And so we've really kind of focused on those fundamentals, and really this week has also been a focus on just trying to get healthy. I mean, I think we had a hard weekend last weekend, a lot of traveling, a lot of late nights, guys making weight, for the first competition of the season, a lot of matches. And so we've had some guys that are kind of battling some illness, and I think sickness is going around right now, so we're really just trying to get healthy. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to wrestle the majority of our guys this weekend, but there's a couple of guys that are going to be probably, a decision probably tomorrow evening whether they're going to compete this weekend or not.
Okay. Well, good. And again, like you said, as everybody's getting healthy and that sort of thing too, it is helpful to have this weekend at home. So that'll be awesome to give them a little extra time to recover before that next competition. So going into Mountaineer Invitational, Saab, I'm gonna let you ask about that.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's let's see. Looking in your email, we got kids coming in from Stanford, Air Force, Ohio, Virginia, Kent State, Edinburgh, and Gardner Webb. A lot of those programs are really tough and going to bring some good competition to this area. How excited are you to host that level of competition for your guys and for the fans that should come up and watch this weekend with all the rain?
Yeah, definitely. It's always great to wrestle, top programs from across the country, from different conferences, and from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast. But to get to wrestle them in your own home gym is even more special. And so this weekend's gonna be a great test for our guys. We've got 8. It's an 8-team invitational. We'll also have an open division that'll be running alongside the invitational. I think there's about 85 entries in the open division. So, our entire team will either be wrestling in the invitational or in the open. So they'll all get a chance to compete this weekend. And, there's going to be some weight classes in that invitational that are going to be pretty darn tough. I know, like, right off the top of my head, 149 and 165 are loaded. I mean, you're talking about 5 and 6 returning national qualifiers at each one of those weights, multiple returning All-Americans at a couple of weights. And so there's going to be a lot of high-level wrestling and high-level matches that's going to take place this weekend. So if you're a wrestling fan in the high country and you want to get out and watch some really good wrestling, this is a great opportunity this weekend.
Yeah. Do you know right offhand if the national champ from Stanford, I think 2 years ago, is he still competing?
Yeah, Shane Griffiths is in their entries, so he should be there.
Awesome. So if you want to see a national champ, fans, come on up and let's watch some good wrestling.
Awesome. And just looking through, and again, you tell me if we can't talk about this yet, but I saw on Twitter you had a couple of people that have signed with App State. Can you talk about that a little bit, about some of who and why you felt like they would be a good fit for the program?
I don't know if I probably can mention a couple of them because I know that they've signed, and once we have their NLI. But I'm gonna be honest, we're still waiting on a couple, and so I'm not quite sure which one of those we have in yet, and which ones we don't. Hopefully by the next episode, though, I'll be happy to discuss our early signees and talk about each one of them. If you maybe can ask me that same question again in a couple weeks, so
I'll hold you to it.
Yep, absolutely.
No worries. Well, have we missed anything? Anything that you wanted to touch on while you got the time?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I wanted to kind of hit on tonight is, if you're a fan out there and you're watching, you're a local or, a regional fan of college wrestling, if you want to support this program, a great opportunity would be to be a season ticket holder. We open our home slate this weekend with the Mountaineer Invitational, and then we have 6 really good dates where we've got high-level opponents, heated rivalries, top 10 opponents are going to be coming to Varsity Gym. So, for your money, there's not a better way to spend, then I think our season ticket's $55 for a season ticket, and really it's the best spent $55 that you can spend on a wrestling season ticket. And so if you haven't bought your season tickets, I encourage you to go do that. You can go to the App State Sports website and be directed to the ticket office, and then you can purchase your App State wrestling season tickets there. So, really can show your support for this program and help keep pushing, the needle forward if you guys want to join and be a season ticket holder.
Awesome. Well, Trying to think, what else is out there, Saba? You got anything? Otherwise, you wanna take us on home?
Yeah, no, I'm just excited to see you guys compete again, especially at home against these top ranked teams. Really happy with how you guys are looking this year thus far, and excited to see the growth of the season and how the kids develop. And I wish we could wrestle NC State later in the date or later in the year, but maybe we'll get some opportunities to wrestle some of those guys again. But
Yeah, you don't
nevertheless,
get do-overs. That's what I tell our guys. You don't get do-overs.
no,
Not in
you
this
don't.
sport. You better be
Yeah,
ready when your time comes. Yeah.
yeah, and when your 4 years is up and you wish you could do it again, like me, you can't. So you better put it all out there and enjoy it while you can, and put everything into it because it really is something special.
Yeah.
Hey, just to jump in real fast, Coach, off the wall comment, but how's the Mountaineer Club going for the young kids, K through 5? How's that going so far?
I think we're in week 2. We started a week ago. I think we've had 4 practices now, and I think as of tonight, there's like 45 kids in the Mountaineer Youth Wrestling Club. There's still time to sign up if you're a parent out there that has a youth in the high country and you want to get them involved in the sport of wrestling. We go on Tuesday and Thursday nights at Varsity Gym from 5:30 to 7 p.m. It's not too late to register. Just bring your kid. It's K6, kindergarten through 6th grade, and we will. We'd love to have them. So we're hoping to be up over 50 kids, hopefully in the next week or so.
How long does
All
that
right.
usually run?
Usually lasts from now all the way through February, and included in that fee, I think the fee's $165 for the entire time. With that includes a season ticket to all of our home matches at Appalachian State, and a T-shirt, and as well as high level coaching for that 4 I guess it's a 4-month period. You've got college coaches and college wrestlers coaching youth, and so it's a really reasonable cost for the quality of the program. So
Good. Yeah, I know it's a good thing, and it's the future of our program, and just wrestling in general. Um, well, I guess we'll close it out here tonight. If you don't have anything else, I just want to say I'm excited to see you guys compete this weekend. I know I'll be there, and I'm just excited to watch you guys take it to these boys this weekend.
all right, thanks a lot, guys. You guys have a good night.
All right.
All right, thanks.
This has been a production by Yosef Media.